Oh, crap. We don't even have a model. Oh, what up, everyone? Jason just dropped a bomb. We don't even have a model today. It's the NFL Fantasy Today show. I'm your host, John Mosales. Let me pick a nice view. Here we go. It's Thursday. It's week 7. We got no Brian. He's in Dominican sipping Mai Tais. So it's just two-man pod today. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to talk crazy wide receiver injuries that just keep piling up, preview some Thursday night football, look to the week ahead, and hopefully answer some questions because that's kind of our favorite thing to do. Jason, what's cooking?
Not too much. I think I just finally finished the laundry list of injuries. It just took 4 days.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, we'll power through those because sometimes I can get monotonous. But so what's going on? So we can talk Niners. I wanted to talk about teams being cursed. Like, do you think that's a real thing where a team just, like, the bad luck's just crazy and it kind of just spreads, it becomes contagious, and it's like, get out before, everybody gets got?
I think teams being cursed is a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I understand it, considering my team has been through it all the last couple of years injury-wise and all that, but I still believe more self-fulfilling prophecy, and it just exists.
Okay, so now you don't ban and ship. Like, if I had CMC and he's the only healthy player in the Niners and everyone around him has gotten hurt, like, that would be red flag city for me, especially how last season went. And I would be trying to trade him, get 2 good pieces, especially how well he's played. He scored his first rushing touchdown, and the Niners are good at getting guys back.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you can trade him and get 2 to 3 top tier players in return, why wouldn't you? Even at peak CMC, if the Niners are going on all cylinders, it's something you have to consider depending on where you're at.
But, like, would you take 2 injury-prone players? Would you take Derrick Henry and Mike Evans back?
For CMC right now, no.
Okay. So not discount city. What's going on with Ricky Pearsall? He had 90 yards week 1. I think he's played one other game. It's just because he was a lot of guys' breakouts. I know we loved him here at Sports.
He was breaking out. He just he suffered a knee injury against the in the Cardinal game, and has missed the last couple of weeks. He's trending towards missing this one as well, but looking like week 8 is optimistic for a return.
Okay, and then Kittle got a partial practice in. They said he might return today, but the Niners are liars. Should we aim for week 8, National Tight End Day, or you think he's going to go this week?
No, very much expected to play Sunday night. It was always the plan. The plan was, they said week 7 2 weeks ago.
I know, but plans.
Yeah, no, I believe it. No, Kittle should be back Sunday night and in hopefully prime Kittle form.
Okay, because that Sunday night is a little bit of a curveball. Because, what do you do? Let's say you picked up Hunter Henry. I'd have to keep the schedule, and he's been playing well, but the Pats probably play at 1. You got Kittle the Sunday night. You're saying, lock Kittle in?
I'm saying lock Kittle in. He's playing.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted. I got Kittle. I was scared. Okay,
I was told he was expected to play in week 7 2 weeks ago, and that they were targeting week 7 2 weeks ago. He was going to get practice last week. They're going to open his window and then come back week 7 for the home game against the Falcons. I fully expect him to play.
Okay, good. Okay, crisis averted. Okay, and then Brock Purdy, it's turf toe. He seems like I thought he was going to play 3 weeks ago. This is, but Max played great, but Max on one to leg too.
Brock Purdy did play 3 weeks ago, and it didn't. He came back. He rushed back. He is back at practice right now. He's limited in practice. The only problem is he is currently, for Kyle Shanahan, more limited than Mac Jones. So I'm fully expecting Mac Jones to start again Sunday night.
Okay, which is fine. I mean, that's a pretty fun game. But then you guys lost, so you'd already lost Bosa. Now you lose maybe the best linebacker in football, Fred Warner. Is the defense toast? Are you going to be a bottom 10 defense?
100%. There is no replacing Fred Warner. There is no move. I called in Jim Rome the other day and even said this, that there is not a single move John Lynch can make that can replace Fred Warner. You can partially replace Nick Bosa if you get a Trey Hendrickson or some other decent pass rusher, but only partially. You can get 10 to 15% of Bosa out of that. There is zero replacing Fred Warner. Just for everything that he means to the defense, for all the calls that he has to make and everything that he does, on-field production, you can't replace him. So
Niners are now a sneaky shootout team? Because I had a nice little chart here. I think they're playing really fast. Plays per game. That's KC. Niners. Yeah, the Niners are pretty good, right? They're efficient and they play fast, right? So that's just a good combo for fantasy.
It is for now, but they may have to slow it down.
Oh,
They may have to start going full Philly and take the air out of the ball. That might be their formula to success. Like, keep the defense off the field, time of possession. I would say that's something to very much keep an eye on as we at least in the first couple of weeks without Fred Warner here, and see how they integrate Tatum Bethune, see if this, youthful defensive line can, come around or take some steps forward. If that changes, so if you have the 3 guys that they drafted in the first 4 rounds take massive steps forward and be able to get after quarterbacks, maybe it changes things. But I would expect the Niners to try and take the air out of the ball as much as possible right now.
Okay, last Niners thing. So what's their plan? What's their record? Are they 4-2?
4-2.
Which is amazing. That means one of the best teams in the league. They've been cursed so far, but they're still right there for the division, for the playoffs, for wild card. Is this like? There's no real throwaway games because they beat the Rams, and the Falcons aren't really good at home. San Fran at home Sunday night, that's a good spot. But like at some point, when's the bye? Do you just shut everyone down and take a loss and hopefully some of the guys get better?
So the throwaway game to me was Sunday against Tampa. They've won. They were 4-1 going into that game. 3 of the 4 wins coming within the division, so they had tiebreakers on literally everybody. So that was nice. And then you lose Warner, and now it's just like, it's high holy hell. The bye is not till week 14, so they got another 2 months basically before that bye comes. So they gotta try and make it 8 weeks with keeping everybody healthy, which, as you can tell, is a pretty tall task at this point. Like I've seen easier tasks be done.
Okay, last Niners point. I started Juwan Jennings because with Pearsall out, Kittle out, I thought he'd get usage. Then we find out he's got like 5 broken ribs. Like, why didn't we know this before Sunday? Because I'm not starting him with five broken ribs. But is he healthier now? Would you flex him? Is he wide receiver 3, or is it just crazy to play him?
I would sit him out. But the reason you probably didn't hear about that is because he was playing Sunday, and you don't want teams to target him.
Good point. Yeah, over the middle.
I'm saying, like, the NHL rule, right, where they can't disclose like injuries, so they don't have to disclose like injuries. Like they just call it upper body, lower body.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
Because they didn't want, they pushed to keep that a rule so teams wouldn't target certain players, because it happened in one Stanley Cup final because a guy had a concussion and then the other team just kept targeting the guy's head.
Okay, brutal. Okay, so done with the Niners, especially they're also playing the Falcons, who have the best defense in the NFL, apparently. Like,
it's up there. It's pretty nasty. They made light work out of Josh Allen, didn't they?
Yeah, right? Yeah, they did.
Hey, you know what else came out of that game that I think you and I can both agree on that we loved? Drake London.
He's back.
Oh, he is so back, baby.
He was the only wide receiver to take a catch. I think he had like 80. I had the number. It was like 75% of the air yards. It's just, it's just everything we thought we were going to see. Hyper targeting, open over the middle, making plays, touchdown. Like, yeah. I mean,
I'll give you one. I was down 30 points going into one of my matchups, or going into Monday Night Football in one of my matchups. I had Drake London and Caleb Williams left. I thought it would be close. Man, we made that up by like halftime of the Falcons game between Drake London and one Caleb Williams run.
I think Drake had like 15 points after the first couple of drives.
He had like 20 in half. He had like 18 or 19 in half PPR. Like, it was wild. And he could have had more had that touchdown counted. That second touchdown counted.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get through some injuries, but we got Anthony just lurking here. What do you think about Pittsburgh and survivor pools over Cincy? Maybe we'll just talk a little preview. Then we'll go to injuries. We'll come back to the preview. What do you think? We got the 2 oldest QBs in the league going head to head. Cincy's at home. Joe Flacco's had a week. If he looked that good against Green Bay in a couple of days, is he going to look better against Pittsburgh? But Rodgers has looked good too.
So I'm going to say this. I saw these stats about Pittsburgh not winning that road Thursday night game a bunch, especially in the division and all that. Since he has no Trey Hendrickson tonight, and that's an already pretty shoddy defense, I'm on Pittsburgh.
Really? In the survivor pool, though? I get like taking the money.
I mean, there's some good matchups. The Bears. I would take the Bears personally.
I wouldn't. I like Cincy, man. I like Cincy at home. They're 2-3. They're trying to survive till Burrow. I mean, I think Chase could just throw this game on his back. Like, yeah, Chase Brown sucks, but this could be the Higgins game. I think Gesicki's out, but they got Noah Fant. The defense is already bad, and Rodgers on a short week. He's been overseas. The only thing I would like in Pittsburgh favor is like the Jalen Warren Kenneth Gainwell combo, which is kind of sneaky good. Maybe they run 30 times for 150 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say I like Chicago personally in the survivor pool this weekend against the Saints at home. I don't envision them losing that game.
Yeah, it's only week 6. I'm not taking Pittsburgh on the road on a short week.
They have another game with the Browns. Take it then.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to some injuries. So let's get back to injuries. So what's the headliner here? Is it Puka? Did we talk Puka last week? No.
We did not talk Puka last week because he got injured on Sunday. He hurt his ankle, and it was already like pretty doubtful he was going to play this week, and he's not practicing right now. So you can basically warp him for the overseas game.
Yeah, there's no reason to play him. They got to bye next week. So what do you like though? It's always like Puka gets hurt. Who do we like? Jordan Whittington? Do you like Tutu? Is Tutu? I don't even know if Tutu's going to play, other than Devontae, obviously.
Yeah, I would say Devontae Adams, the obvious, number one. Whittington sneaks up here and there, but I actually kind of like Tutu out of all of their offense because he always, like, whenever Puka or one of those guys are missing, he always seems to just bust one big play and make a fantasy, flex worthy play in like one shot. Like he'll break like a 45, 50 yard catch. Right there, you got 5.5, 6 points, and that's good enough flex value.
Yeah, I like Tutu a lot. But I think so Whittington without Puka, he had 6 for 62, 7 for 89, 3 for 86, right? And I think he was a rookie or second year last year, so he's got better. Stafford's gotten better. Whittington, I would probably go Whittington, but historically I've always picked up Tutu, and he's done really well for me. Okay, what else we got?
Where do you want to start with this one? Because I have 11 teams on my list, and we just knocked out 2.
Let's go Buka. Right, everybody's stud. We're talking about curses, right? Mike Evans got hurt. Chris Godwin looks toast. Jalen McMillan got hurt in the preseason. Now Ibuka.
Well, we have some good news on the Tampa front. Mike Evans did return to practice this week. He's practice limited Wednesday and Thursday. He is very much trending towards returning for Monday night against the Lions against a secondary that's very banged up right now. So
and Branch is suspended.
Yep. And that was upheld. So, yeah, very.
I like that you stopped now when I just interrupt you. It's perfect. We just keep going. So, same thing with Kittle. Mike Evans Monday night. Are you more confident Kittle plays than Mike Evans? What would you do with Mike Evans? Would you just pick up one of the backups like a Ted Johnson or a Cameron or Sterling Shepard, and then if Evans is out, you just shift him in? Yeah,
I would pick up Sterling Shepard. At this point, that's Baker's guy. They were college teammates. They clearly have chemistry. I
had no idea they were college teammates.
Yeah, in Oklahoma.
Wow. Okay, cool. Even though I think Ted's caught a touchdown, thought he was MVP, and the other guy Cameron something. He had a good game. You don't want to use because Shepard's like 32 and banged up. He's injury prone.
Well, we can take a look at the stats, see who was targeted and who wasn't. I just. Again, I know the familiarity with Baker and Shepard's a big deal. So just looking here at Sterling Shepard's numbers the last couple of weeks. Let's see, 3 to 5 targets a game. He had 2 for 51 on Sunday. He had 4 for 80 in a game, but he's getting between, he's had at least 6 points in 3 of the last 4 games for fantasy.
Yeah, but it's Baker, right? We know Baker's going to sling it. Baker's going over 260, 2 touchdowns, kind of floor, right? Yeah, exactly. So it's like I want the biggest part of that. I'd rather mystery box it and take this Tez Johnson guy. But do you know anything about him? You don't know where he went to college? You wouldn't know. I
do know where he went to college. I saw him play in person last year at Oregon.
Oregon?
Yeah, he went to University of Oregon. He did not. And he played with Bo Nix for a season, so there's that.
Okay.
He also played with Dylan Gabriel. So last 2 games, he's gotten. Let's see. So last 2 weeks, 4 targets 2 weeks ago, 3 last week. He caught all 4 2 weeks ago in Seattle. He only caught 1 of 3 last week, but it went for 45 yards and a touchdown.
I guess the deep threat's not as replaceable, but
as is the higher ceiling for sure. Shepard's the safer floor, so it depends on how you want to play it.
Yeah, and really, it's just a bet on Baker, right?
I mean, I ain't worried about Baker.
No, that's what I mean. It's like a Baker. You're betting on Baker. I just want a piece of,
Yeah, exactly.
Anything he touches turns to gold. Okay, what else? Who else we got? We got. I think Lamb said. There's an update. Lamb said he's playing. Not even on a pitch count. So let's go.
Yeah, CD's returned to practice. They were already kind of targeting week 7 again, kind of very similar to Kittle in a way. Like a couple weeks ago, they were saying he could return week 6, but probably week 7. And yeah, he's very much trending towards being back. So that's very good news for fantasy fans. May not be the greatest news for George Pickens fans, but Sunday's game with Washington has the makings to be quite a barn burner.
Yeah, Pickens, I think, has been the wide receiver 1 2 of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Where do you downgrade him to? I do the wide receiver rankings, but like obviously, would you put Drake London over Lamb and Pickens just because they got to split a bit?
Yeah, Drake London's still the guy at this point. He's last 2 weeks he's had 20+ fantasy points.
Okay. Last 2 games because they had the bye.
I'm saying the last two fantasy points.
Okay, so Pickens, like Garrett Wilson's going to be out. Ladd, who would you play this week? Would you play Ladd or George Pickens?
Ooh, tough call. Again, you're looking ceiling floor here. If you're looking for a safe floor, you're going Ladd. If you're looking for a higher ceiling, you're going Pickens.
Okay.
So, I think Pickens is a high-end wide receiver too. He's kind of back to his initial fantasy value when he came in as a rookie.
Well, now he's penthouseing. Okay, now let's go Garrett Wilson, right? So the Jets suck; they can't win. But his target share has been crazy. His first read is, I think, the highest in the league, and now he's probably gonna sit, right?
Yeah, he's probably he's trending towards missing the next couple of weeks as well. Plus, they have a bye in that middle or in that kind of area as well. I think they have 2 games and then a bye. But yeah, already bad news for the Jets, and it just got a whole lot worse.
Do you think, because there's no really wide receiver to make a bump, would you just Mason Taylor? Like, you think he just makes the leap, or just Breece Hall starts running wide receiver routes?
Yeah, they're gonna have to use Breece Hall a lot more. They're gonna have to use Mason Taylor a lot more than they used him on Sunday. Like 1 target. Are we kidding? Granted, it's a better defense. It's a better matchup on Sunday. Like the Panthers' defense isn't great. Instead of having to go against Denver, who is really tough and has a great pass rush and, makes a guy like Justin Fields' life really difficult.
No, for sure. But it's like, what numbers do we trust, right? Carolina, one of the worst defenses in history a year ago, right? Can't stop the run. But the last 2 weeks, they've held Javonte and Miami, Devon Chain, to, I think, under 2.5 yards per carry, right? So it's like, we got to kind of use what have you done lately, right? Obviously, you still like the matchup because Carolina's defense isn't very good, but how many weeks in a row if they hold Breece Hall to under 2.5 yards per rush again, are you like, okay, Carolina's rush defense is good because stuff like this happens, right?
Yeah, I think it's decent in that case, but again, I don't know, the Dallas part impressed me. Miami doesn't impress me. I'd still just. Still not in on Tua, especially not in on Miami without Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle's decent, but is he a true game-breaking wide receiver?
I think he's close. I think he's, it's the same thing if Devontae Smith, if AJ Brown was out, Devontae Smith become a stud, right? He's not in that Drake's, stratosphere, but he's 80 for a touchdown every game is kind of where he's going to go.
I mean, at this point, let's be real. AJ Brown's been pretty much out every game anyway.
Yeah, but he's still getting his target share. I was going to do one more. Have you seen the weather for this Cleveland game?
I have not. I've been checking. I've been too buried in injuries to even look at weather.
It's 50 mile per hour winds, super rain. It's catastrophic.
Who are they playing?
Miami, Cleveland. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, in Miami, right?
Yeah. No, in Cleveland.
Oh, in Cleveland. Wow. I thought hurricane season was down south.
It can roll up. It's Cleveland. It's always bad weather.
Yeah.
But Total's down to 37.5. So games like this, I'm gonna have Larry do our weather on Sunday. I'll have a better picture of what it's gonna be like. But I'm sitting Waddle. Obviously, you're not playing anyone in Cleveland like Judy. I'm not playing Waller. I'm not playing Tua. I'm shutting it all down. Would you play Wan'Dale Robinson or would you play Waddle in that game? In a normal game, obviously Waddle.
I don't really have a choice. I have to play Waddle in one of my leagues because of my team's injuries. I just lost my 3rd wide receiver. So, with the Buka going down. So I'm kind of I don't really have choice. And plus, Waddle is a wide receiver one anyway.
Yeah, but if the weather's that bad, I'd play Jordan Whittington. I would look at Tutu. I would look at Ted Johnson. Like, I've seen these weather games. It's like Tua's crap in the weather. He's crap in most like.
You would think,
And it's a great defense. He might have 80 passing yards.
Yeah, but 70 of them could go to Waddle and one could go to
Okay.
No. A couple of years ago, the Dolphins played the Bills on a Saturday night game in Buffalo in the snow, and Waddle actually turned in a pretty good fantasy game.
Snow's fine. You can play in snow. 50. You can't throw in 50-mile-per-hour winds. Remember that it was the Pats Bills game. It was like week 17. The Pats only threw it twice.
Yeah, I remember that one. The goalposts were like going, like wiggling back and forth. And who knows? I mean, I don't really want to make too much of a concussion joke here, but that win could actually literally knock Tua out.
Sure. Okay. Now, what else we got? Wide receiver injuries.
Let's see. So we got the Commanders. We've got Terry McLaurin did return limited yesterday. Did not practice today. Still trending towards playing Sunday.
Oh, really? Crap.
Yeah. Can play Sunday. He's got to be a must start. Debo didn't practice all of last week and still played through his heel injury Monday night. I would presume that he's not going to see much practice time and presume that he plays against Dallas. And I know it's going to tie into something else we're going to talk about later in the show. But, I think if either of those two guys play, you got to start them. Dallas can't stop anything right now.
I mean, yeah, if Terry McLaurin was playing with like one arm taped to his chest and he can only catch with one hand playing against Dallas, I would think about starting him.
Yeah, no, I definitely would.
Okay, we'll jump. A quick question here from AS. Warren or APN 0.5 PPR? So, guys, if you're watching on Twitter, jump over to YouTube. Give us a question. Give us a like. Give us we'll talk start sit. We'll talk crazy trades. There's nothing off limits, especially without Brian here. Okay, Warren or ATN? We got Warren going tonight. Bengals are terrible defense. Do I have my NFL stats still available? No. Or Jacksonville ATN, who's really slowed down after a super hot start. Is this obvious for you, or is it a bit of a flip?
I actually really like Warren here. I feel like he's going to have, he had his first game back from, the injury and then the bye week. He still put up respectable, 7.3 fantasy points, which is decent. But I feel like he's going to have a better game tonight, especially with that Bengals defense banged up. And also those London games are so wacky. Like crazy as, I just can't trust anyone in those games.
Yeah, I love Warren in this spot. I mean, it's kind of like if you can do that versus Cleveland, what are you going to do versus Cincy, right? ATN just had, 12 carries, 27 yards. He's kind of reverted back to last season's ATN. And that Jacksonville, they're kind of pass heavy now. Jags are a weird team. We know Pittsburgh doesn't want to throw it 45 times. Flacco is going to throw it 45 times for some reason. But, especially with the spread. We'll save this game for a bit. Thursday Night Football, right? I think it's 5.5 points.
5.5.
That seems crazy. I mean, since he's at home, I get Pittsburgh's ahead in the division, but they're not blowing teams out. The defense has got better, but Rodgers on a short week on the road. I mean, I don't get it. I like Cincy to win.
I think it's a couple things. Yeah, the Bengals are bad. They played at home 2 weeks ago and lost by 15. Granted, it's the Lions, better offense, but and it probably significantly won. But the Steelers are probably a middle tier 2 offense, so it's still 7 or 8 points in my opinion. I don't see why they can't win the game by a touchdown. Their defense is really good, and they can't protect anybody. And you have to deal with T.J. Watt. And the Bengals don't have anyone now who can rush the passer.
Oh, no, for sure. But, I mean, it's just since he just played Green Bay in Green Bay and we're close to almost went down and won the game, right? Flacco's had more time. If they're going to save their season, it's going to be at home on a short. It's going to be this game. I don't trust Rodgers. DK is their only option. So, I would, if you just double DK, what are they going to do? Just check it down all day? The tight ends haven't been any good. So the only thing I fear is Pittsburgh running the ball. Kenneth Gainwell, is he would you start him as a flex play? Because they actually gave carries to Warren, Gainwell, and Caleb Johnson last week, which is really kind of frustrating. Yeah,
it does stink, especially because I don't know why Caleb Johnson would see the field for the next 4 weeks after that gap in 1-2. It's a tough spot to be in for sure. But the Steelers can run the ball. It's their MO, and I would not start Gainwell personally. Warren has to be out for me to start him.
Yeah, if Warren's out, he's a must start. But just it's the matchup, right? Like if you're because running backs are banged up. If you got a running back in a bad matchup, like okay, you'd start Chase Brown? I might start Gainwell over Chase Brown because the matchup like Chase Brown's ATN's getting more snaps. He was getting 80% of snaps last season. Now he's getting 50. He hasn't scored since week 1. He hasn't got over 50 rushing yards since week 1. And if Samaje Perine getting the passing network, what is Chase Brown getting?
Not a whole lot, and could be a lot worse than a negative game script tonight. And that actually led me into is one of my props for tonight is Samaje Perine.
Okay, yeah, we'll just jump around. We got no Brian. We don't need any structure. Let's go props.
Yeah, I'll say so first one I have Samaje Perine, 40+ scrimmage yards, plus 195 on DraftKings.
40 plus. What do you have last week?
I'm not entirely sure, but I really like the game script tonight for Cincinnati.
Okay.
You tell me you can't get 40+ rushing and receiving yards.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not bad, but I mean, really, it will even get 10 rushing yards. He'd have to get it all in the receiving game.
Yeah, I'm saying, but he can.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I could definitely be open for him, especially if the game script goes awry, which I think it probably will.
I'm saying Cincinnati wins. Okay, next.
I've got T. Higgins 60+ receiving yards plus 155.
Okay, that's not bad because he just had his best game of the season. It kind of goes. Chase will go supernova, and then the defense has to shift to Chase, and then Higgins kind of just I find it goes 2 Chase games, 1 Higgins game.
Yeah, the only problem with T. Higgins is whenever he has a good game, the next week is a.
Yeah, but he only had like 64 yards. It wasn't that great. It's not like he scored. What do you know anything Pittsburgh secondary? Because they traded for Ramsey, but I think he's been hurt.
Yeah, but I think he's still playing tonight. I haven't seen him pop up on an injury report unless I'm just been under a rock. I was going to say Joey Porter Jr. is still there.
Okay.
So yeah, they still have a couple dudes, but then they also have guys who can get after the quarterback. That TJ Watt guy does not stink at football.
Yeah, but I mean, how many sacks does he have? How many pressures? Like he kind of got old overnight. His stats this season are terrible compared to what he was last season. So it's like you slow down overnight, and he's the whole defense. I got Bosa in San Francisco. Chris Jones.
So I gotta look at double or triple team rates for him. Need to get my friend's PFF login back.
Okay. Any other props?
Yeah, I got 2 more. So I have 2 Steelers. I gotta try to go 2 for each team each week. So I've got DK Metcalf, 80+ receiving yards, plus 162. And
that's great. I mean, he's target hog. Calvin Austin hasn't been playing. They've thrown through their 3rd tight end. Darnell Washington, I think, was their 2nd receiver last game.
Yeah. And the thing is with Metcalf, he seems to pick up most of his chunks in one play this year. Like he'll break like a 60. It seems like he's getting like an explosive play, at least one explosive play a week. So one of 20+, but they usually go for like 40 or 50+. I love doing checking the stats, see like what teams have given up the most like long plays. I'm gonna guess it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys are giving up 740+.
Shocker. Only they had a pass rush.
Bengals have given up 24, 20+. They changed their logo to take the orange out of it. It's weird.
Wearing their alternates tonight. They're wearing their all white jerseys and all white helmets.
So the one thing the Bengals, I guess they're playing too high, right? They've only given up 1 play at 40+ yards. So they're doing that thing where they don't get over top, but the middle of the field they're just getting torched.
Yeah, I mean you can get torched over the middle of the field, but you still have to tackle people. If you can't tackle.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but for DK, it's kind of that X receiver. He kind of runs more down the sideline, like Rich Winsky and Coleman. So I don't necessarily love it for that, but I mean, DK's gone over 2 weeks in a row. He's looked great.
The other thing is he can take that. He is good after the catch, though, and he can take that slant for that post and just bust one with his speed.
And Rodgers likes to hyper target his guys. He's not throwing. He doesn't throw to bums. He doesn't like risking the pick. So okay, I like that. What else you got?
That's my that was my last prop is Aaron Rodgers and his guys. Aaron Rodgers 250+ pass yards plus 180.
Wow, 250. I mean, has he done 250 this season?
Pretty sure he went over on Sunday. Maybe he threw 2 touchdowns.
I think okay. I thought it was like.
Let me hold on.
I thought it was like 220, but I'm not sure.
Let's see. Yeah, 235.
235. Okay.
He has not broken 250 yet this year, but 244, 203, 200, and 235 out of his 6 games.
Because they're just not a yards team, right? They just
but he's thrown at least 30 times in 3 of the 5 games.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a weird game. I think they're going to be down. I think Cindy's going to. They're 2-4. They started 2-0. They need to save their season. You get to 3-3, or I guess they're 2-4. You get to Yeah, they're 2-4.
Yeah.
Right. You get to 3-4. Schedule eases up a bit. Maybe maybe Bro can come back a little earlier. You go on a run, finish 3-0. I mean, right. You just got to get a couple wins, because it's not like that AFC North is any good with Baltimore falling off.
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
You can win the AFC North maybe with 8 wins, something stupid.
I mean, at this point, it might only take that, considering Baltimore is just, it's so puzzling how bad they are. Cleveland obviously is trash, and the Bengals at this point, going into the season, I was one of the guys who just wasn't jumping on that train just because they did nothing to upgrade the offensive line. The Trey Hendrickson dispute for an already terrible defense, and then the one guy they draft, has his own dispute, which is a complete nightmare. So yeah, I wasn't buying the Bengals to begin with.
No, especially you don't want the year after. It's like you don't want to draft the Cowboys next season after Dak throws for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Like all those, everyone's going to get a bump, right? Pickens is going to be like a 2nd-round player. CeeDee Lamb's going to go 1st overall again, right?
Yeah.
So
CeeDee Lamb was always worth it, though. He's that good.
Yeah, I know he is. Well, and also the Dak combo. So another thing I want to talk about, like these out of position stats. So I got all the QBs right now. Who do you think is getting their most fantasy points from rush yards?
I actually think it's Mahomes. Mahomes is having a great year running the ball.
But no percentage. So the percentage of fantasy points.
Oh, percentage of fantasy points.
Yeah.
It's either Josh Allen or Lamar.
No, because Lamar throws. You're not getting it, right? Justin Fields, 26% of his points come from rush yards.
Yeah, it's true. He breaks all his big runs and houses it. That's fair.
Right, Mahomes getting 15% from rushing, 16% from rushing touchdowns, right? So that's really the golden goose.
Yeah, what do you like? He's back to QB1.
Yeah, I know. What's your ideal, what's percentage breakdown? Obviously, rushing touchdowns, I guess, are the best. What do you think Hurts is getting from rushing touchdowns?
Probably 18%.
Yeah, 23. It's the highest, right? Because of that tush push. But Mac Jones getting 66% from passing yards. I think that's the highest in the league, right? Is that just kind of that's empty calories? It's kind of like Geno Smith when he plays. Last year he threw for 300 yards but only 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I would say 55. Actually, no, 55 is too low for passing yards. I would say 60-40. Would be great for a point split, but it's just hard to find those guys, I feel like.
Yeah, right. And then you get Jackson Dart, the announcement, right? He's getting 31% from pass yards, 25% from touchdowns, 26% from rushing yards, 18 from rushing TDs, right? So he's almost split evenly. He's just as likely to run it in for a touchdown as throw it for a touchdown.
That's comforting to know facing him this weekend.
And then same running back. So I got to pull it up. But who do you think who's the best receiving back right now?
Oh, it's McCaffrey.
Oh, okay, right. That's probably true.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver 1 at this point.
Yeah. Who do you think's got the second most receiving yards?
Gibbs?
No, Gibbs doesn't have Gibbs got nothing. Bijan.
Really? Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Bijan's had a couple big ones.
Gibbs is RB17 in receiving yards because he got that 10 targets week 1, but he had 27 yards. He's getting catches, but he's getting tackled line of scrimmage. And then but so do you want your running back to be more kind of traditional how Quinshon Judkins is, where he's just 20 rushes, 85 to 100 yards, or do you like the more Devon Achane who's going to get maybe 10 rushes, 50 yards, but he might get 7 to 8 receptions for another 50?
Well, considering most formats are at least half PPR, you like the latter. It's more points that way. I know some people are starting to adopt this like points per carry thing, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I even just 0.25 for me is like excessive. It's too complicated. But in a half PPR formats and full PPR formats, I want my running backs catching the ball. So I like them in the passing game. So I'm all in on them getting the rock, getting passes thrown to them.
Yeah, but everything kind of has factors in, right? So the ones who are more effective in the passing game usually aren't bigger, so they're not getting the goal line work, right? Judkins, we know, is getting that goal line work, whereas Miami, like Etienne, is probably not getting. They'll give it to Ollie Gordon, right? So you got to factor that in.
Actually,
like, how many
Gordon's
times do you see like Tucker? How many times do you see Tucker Graff get tackled at the 1, and then Josh Jacobs gets to run it in from the 1, right?
Many times this season, in my opinion.
All right, those are the best. Those are if you have Jacobs. I'm not Jacobs. Okay, Spartacus Medina. That's kind of been a badass. 5-1. Congrats. CMC, JT. Okay, that'll do it. Quentin Johnson. Matt. Who's Mass?
Wait, Mass? What?
MAS.
I gotta think. So let's see. We have McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Johnson.
Masterful, Masterson, Maserati. Oh, I'm sure he'll let us know. Monty. He's got Dowdle. Jordan Mason.
There. Oh yeah, there we go.
I can't believe I didn't get Jordan Mason, my guy. Thank you. So your team's stacked. Tet, Jesus. I think you did QJ again. There's not. Oh, Quinshon Judkins and Quentin Johnson. Oh my God, we're not good at this game. So you have the greatest fantasy team ever assembled. You got Tyler Warren. Okay. Sorry, we might be too dumb to read this. Fletch was offered St. Brown, Zay Bowers for Puka, Rico, Quinn Johnson. You're 5-1. There's no reason to sell Puka. It was just an ankle injury. They got the bye week. He's only going to miss a game. I'd be more worried about Bowers, but St. Brown's pretty steep. I don't know. What do you think? You're selling high in Rico, kind of selling low in Puka, maybe selling high in Quentin. So
yeah, I'm still not making that trade. There's no point. You're 5-1. There's no point. You're 5-1. Don't get cute.
The thing is, you got Tyler Warren, so you don't need to upgrade your tight end position, right? Warren might be better than Bowers.
I've just seen it too many times in over too many different sports leagues where the team that's in first place. I just make this trade and get cute, and it just blows up in their face. It's happened in my football league. It happened in my baseball league this season. That benefited me, by the way. Thanks, Chop. I don't see the point.
Well, yeah. So I guess what are you doing? Because you're not upgrading wide receiver. You're barely maybe upgrading tight end. I guess you'd be doing it just to get something out of Rico because with Chuba back. But I think you're stacked. If you just want to make a trade, find a little smaller one to maybe just find a nice little stack. Because you're going to make playoffs. I'd go look to week 15, week 16, and then try and find a nice stack. Like maybe even if you're going to have Puka, trade for Stafford if it's a nice matchup. If the Rams are playing like Cincinnati or something.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually looking kind of ahead at matchups today. I was looking at Lamar's schedule moving forward. Championship week, Packers, week 17. Ooh.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah,
my man Tyler Sperry, he's back. Kyron in London or White. So we got Bucky still not going to play. Kyron in London, so they're playing the Jags, the lowly Jags. Tampa. Maybe Rashad White is the wide receiver 1, right?
Yeah, right. No, I'm still going Kyron. He's been too good. His worst week is like 15 points.
Yeah. You can't overthink it. Maybe if it's PPR, maybe you could talk yourself into White, but the Lions are still pretty good against the run. It's it's Blake Corum's not inching in. Also without Puka, right? Maybe they lean on the run game even more, right? So this could be goes Kyron old school, 18-20 carries, 80 yards, touchdown or 2.
Plus, he's also really good in the pass game. He's still such an effective receiver. And
Kyron?
Yeah, he had 2 receiving touchdowns against the Niners, right?
Really? Oh wow! I know you've had the fumble the 1. I was watching that game. Yeah. Oh wow, that's. All right, he says thank you for the invite. Thank you for the Spartacus Medina, man. That thing's just trippy. Okay, Tyler. Also, Fannin, Taylor, or Banner. I need more.
Zach Banner retired. Mason Taylor.
Right.
So
Nice.
Fan, Mason Taylor, or
So we talked about the weather in the Cleveland game. I'm abandoning all souls. Fannon's been great. They're going. Njoku's been a little banged up. And Judy sucks. And Tillman's out. So Fannon is great in a normal matchup, especially a normal matchup against Miami. I would go Fannon all day. But based on what the weather's right now, I'm not doing that. Give me the Mason Taylor bump as kind of the wide receiver one at tight end. And Banner. Who's Banner? Banner is tight. Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, Seattle tight end. Isn't
Barner.
that AJ Barner? AJ Barner.
AJ Barner. Yeah.
Where did AJ Barner go to college?
I do not know that one, actually.
Oh, we got him.
Finally got stumped.
He's been pretty good. Right? Seattle kind of wants to be run heavy, but they're actually pass heavy. Although there's been signs of life from Cooper, and JSN's a target monster. But I think Barner had scored in 2 weeks before he didn't score last week. So I like that, but I think it's a Mason Taylor easy all day, right?
Yeah, especially after last week when he had one catch for 7 yards, like one catch for 2 yards. Sorry, yeah, he's got to have a bounce back week.
Well, it's just usually when a team has like this catastrophic week. Like remember when Atlanta got shut out by Carolina? You have a great practice, you have a bounce back. I do trust the Jets coaching, even though they're 0-6. I think Fields will kind of get back to basics. And so, yeah, I actually like Mason Taylor this week. I think you can throw in Carolina. You can do a lot in Carolina. So the play action should be live and should be effective. Okay, we're going to go maybe 5-10 more minutes here.
I was going to say the Jets have had like 6 catastrophic weeks, though.
They've had what?
Like 6 catastrophic weeks. So that's kind of it kind of doesn't really – it's almost – well, actually, it hasn't been like 6 because they were close in week 1.
Yeah, and then week 2 against the Bills was catastrophic to failure.
Yeah. Last week was catastrophic for the offense. Like they held Denver to 13 points.
That's true. They did. It was an overseas game, but I think what did Fields have like 9 sacks? It was like one of the worst quarterback games in the history of the NFL.
Negative 10 net passing yards.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. But yeah, Barner. Yeah, Tyler says Barner. Yeah, he's tight end 10 on the year. That's tight end 10. It's hard to say. No, he's been really good. He's been scoring touchdowns. But it's just. I don't think he's that reliable. Cooper Kupp just had the best game of his season. And then is Seattle? Wait, who's Seattle playing?
They are at home Monday night against the Texans.
Yeah, Houston, right? Houston's only allowed 3 passing touchdowns this season. I knew it was Houston. So that's like I wouldn't be. Would you start Mac Jones or Sam Darnold?
I'm starting Mac Jones this weekend.
Yeah, right.
It's been tough, but they've also gotten busted up on the road a little bit. Like Carolina got them a few weeks ago on the road, and this is a good letdown game for the Falcons. Like, that's probably big Monday night win against the Bills, coupled with the previous bye week. Like at home, you're riding high. You're trying to keep up with Tampa, but like right now, it's like we just knocked out the Bills. We knocked down Josh Allen's MVP stock a few pegs. The Niners are banged up. This is a classic trap and letdown game.
Yeah, unless Drake goes for another 200.
Which he could.
I like Barner. It's just that Houston, the Houston defense. I talked about it on Tuesday. It's crazy. Team defense. I go to passing. Click on touchdowns. 3. They've given up 3 passing touchdowns in the years. Comparison: Cowboys have given up 15. Baltimore 14. Saints 14. So it's like the odds of him scoring are essentially nil. And I just, obviously I'm going to be playing JSN because JSN you play against the Monstars. But
anybody.
I'm avoiding Darnold. Kenneth Walker's kind of crap. He's been, because Charbonnet's getting more carries, and they're not passing the running backs. That's the killer with the Seattle offense. JSN's amazing. Kupp's still fine. Barner's been great. But really, last year they made their head checking down to Kenneth Walker, throwing to Charbonnet. Little easy checkdowns to get 5-6 yards, and they're just not doing it this season, and it's kind of driving me crazy.
My boy Torrey Horton every now and then too comes through.
Okay, fun game. Who before we wrap up? Okay, I'm going to give you the position. You're going to guess who's got the most tackles avoided. So at QB.
Broken tackles this year?
Yeah, tackles avoided, broken tackles, missed tackles, all the same thing.
Okay, let's see.
I'll give you hints. We've already talked about them, and we both love them.
Ooh, talk about them. Love them. Baker?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, that play on Sunday was ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe he busted that sack. Like, we had him and just, yeah. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's at 13. Okay, running back. Running back. He is not your guy, but otherwise one of, if not the best running backs in the league.
Bijan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta make my hits worse.
That 81-yard touchdown the other day was also crazy. Like that one where he actually did break the tackle, managed to keep his feet in bounds and stay in bounds. And I just want to know, where's Cam Scatterbo on this list? Where is my guy?
He doesn't break tackles. He just goes through them.
Exactly. Like I said, North America is finally getting to understand what I've known for 2 years, which is awesome.
Some people no longer. Okay, at wide receiver. Sometimes he's a running back.
Debo?
Yeah. Oh, man, you're crushing this game. Okay. Tight end. We talked about him a bit. He's a rookie, but he's not who you think he is.
Is it? I would say it's not Tyler Warren then. Is it Fannin?
Oh my God, Jason, I'm gonna put this in a clip and been posting it. This is the most impressive thing I've ever seen you do.
Man, better than the colleges you guys went to?
No, that's pretty great actually. Okay, but you didn't know Barner. So if anyone knows where AJ Barner go to college, let us know. So he wants to. Okay, we're gonna look. We're gonna see if there's any moves to do. So okay, who's his QB?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no. Oh wait, he just said it on the last tweet. Put it back. It was Herbert and Love.
Oh right, Herbert Love. I mean that's pretty dope. But I mean, okay, you got CMC and JT and Quinshon Judkins and Mason, and running back and Rico, who's the best running back of the group in the last 2 weeks.
And Rico's getting a timeshare bump now, even if Hubbard comes back. Like Dave Canales has already made it pretty clear that.
Yeah, but you're not really playing Rico. I mean, I don't. I guess you would have played him last week. You probably didn't play him the week before.
Maybe
so. You've got the greatest assembly of running backs I've ever seen. Okay, wide receiver. You got the best wide receiver. You got Ted, Quentin Johnson, Sutton, Higgins. You could probably maybe try and find a little improvement there because you don't have a true wide receiver too. Ted had 2 touchdowns, but he only had a couple grabs. Quentin Johnson is hurt, but he has been great. I do like Sutton. I do like Higgins, but if we're talking margins, you're 5-1. Get that, true wide receiver too. Tight end Tyler Warren, the man, right? So,
something decent for his bye week, I guess.
So what QB? Let's say he was trying to go upgrade his QB. He's got Love, Herbert. Maybe try and get a running QB. Just so for that night, for those matchups where even if it's a snow game or it's a spot, like.
If you're really that bent on making a trade, go for the jugular. Just package them both and get like Lamar or get Mahomes or get Allen. Baker, just go for it.
Wing big. So
if you're going for it, just go for it.
So I'd see what the guy's record who has Lamar, and maybe I bet he needs running back help, right? Maybe he needs immediate help. Lamar's on the bye this week, then he'll be back. What can Rico? Because Rico maybe he's got 200 yards back-to-back week. Maybe you can Rico's half of it. And then you got to give him a name, right? So, you give him CMC and Rico for Lamar. Who says no?
CMC and Rico for Lamar. I would do that. If I were me getting Lamar, I would do that in a second.
If you're getting Lamar?
Herbert or Love. I would trade Herbert or Love with Rico to get Lamar.
No. So you got to trade Rico and CMC.
Oh, Rico and CMC for Lamar?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Okay, so maybe you do that. Add one of your QBs, and then get another running back.
I just want to know how many teams are in this guy's league.
It's probably a 10-team, but yeah, no, he would have taken you draft at the end, right? You go you got to go CMC, Puka, and then Taylor's got to come back to you, and then everyone else you can get kind of late.
Yeah, that's true.
Could have been option.
I would honestly send in Quinshon.
You would trade? I wouldn't trade Quinshon Judkins. Not before this week. If it's a bad weather game.
This week, I'm saying next week, I would.
Yeah, but he might have 35 carries. He might have 200 rushing yards this week.
I said
the Dolphins can't defend the run in bad weather. I
just want to go back to
my RB1 this week.
I just want to go back to my initial thought on this guy's roster and trading. I wouldn't make a single trade. Like at this point, we're just literally forcing trades and doing hypotheticals. Like
Yeah.
Again, my theory here is don't get cute.
I agree.
I've seen too many people. I've seen too many people trip themselves.
Okay, the only thing I do is maybe go see who the Cowboys are playing in Week 15, and maybe try and get their.
I guess the Dolphins too. Why not?
Yeah, right. That's what I would. That's what I did. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. Let's go one more minute. Anything else? Anything we missed? Anything you want to get off? Any hot takes, hot bets, hot anything?
No, I got all my props in. If you need any more injury updates, though, we have a few more teams. we got through some, but we got through some, but like half. So there's no point.
Okay, yeah. Josh Downs concussion, Marvin Harrison Jr. concussion. They're probably both out.
The sad part is I actually forgot about Marvin Harrison Jr. on that one. I had Quentin Johnson being limited in practice today, Calvin Ridley being down and trending towards not playing, Jacoby Myers trending towards playing, expected back in practice today, and then Chuba Hubbard was limited today.
Yeah, I think Chuba's going to play. Okay, well, that's going to do it for us. A nice little short pod on Thursday. Make sure to come back Sunday morning. We're going to do massive preview pod. We'll have a game ongoing. Maybe Jason will even jump in. We'll see. But yeah, we'll be doing start sits. We'll be doing trade questions. We'll be handling everything. So make sure to jump on that one. And always jump over to YouTube so you can give us a like, give us a subscribe, and you can be along for the ride. All right, Jason, thank you.
Thank you.
No Niners Thursday night, so you got a little break.
Oh, no, but Sunday night's going to be awful. All right, hey, catch us at Mule Bar Sunday night. Shout out Mule Bar Portland. Basically an unofficial ambassador for that place now. It's a Niner bar.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Cheers.